Welcome to the Home Team Sacramento podcast. I'm Josh Takimoto, and welcome back. It has been a minute since we've recorded a podcast, and I apologize for that. I know one of the last times I was on here, I was making a point of trying to be more consistent because we had taken a long break, and I think we did maybe 2 episodes, and then fell off again, and then I think it was before Christmas when we last posted an episode. So for anybody who enjoys this podcast and who has been following along with us since the very beginning, I do apologize. So, one of my things with these podcasts, ever since I started podcasting, was consistency, and I feel like consistency is always an important thing, not just for podcasting, but obviously for everything in life. And that was one of the things I was just dead set on when I first started podcasting. Is okay, we're going to commit to a day that we release these things. We're going to make sure every single week it's at the same time. And here we are with this podcast. It's been the polar opposite of that. It has not been consistent, especially the last year or so. So I do apologize if you are someone who enjoys this podcast and has been waiting for a new episode and wondering where we went. I got a little lazy and I wasn't publishing episodes frequently or often. So here we are, though. Here we are, and as you can probably tell, if you're watching this, you can see I'm the only person here. And if you're listening, you'll probably realize that I'm the only one talking. Just me tonight. And I just wanted to hop on here and kind of get the ball rolling. I can't promise how often or when we'll upload these podcasts, but I know next week we do have a guest that will be exciting to talk with. And, but anyways, like I said, wanted to get the ball rolling and wanted to hop on here and put something out there to kind of jumpstart this thing again. And excuse me, in this little break that I've been taking from the podcast, I still try to post stuff here and there on social media, specifically Instagram. And if you follow us on any of those platforms, you've probably seen some of our home team sparks that we put out there from different people around the community. Motivational quotes, a couple of clips here and there. So we're still active on the social media pages, but just haven't posted podcasts. But all that being said, the other day I noticed I was scrolling through and looking at different things on the Home Team Sac Instagram page, and I'm seeing trainers that we know and coaches and athletes and all of these different people that are involved in our sports world. And I just sat there for a second. I thought, man, how lucky are we that we are connected to so many amazing people that are doing amazing things, that have a heart and a desire to make the lives of the athletes in our home team of Sacramento better. Like how awesome is that? Like we have such a rich group of talent and creativity and wisdom within our community, and they're all within a few miles from each other. And so many people have been kind enough to be on this podcast. And I was just looking around and I'm like, man, like it is pretty special. We call this thing Home Team Sacramento because like we've always said, we believe that everybody is a part of our home team. You might be on a rival team from someone across town, but at the end of the day, if you're an athlete who has a desire to use their platform to make their communities better and to use sports as a way to make yourself better and to achieve something greater, you're a part of the home team. If you're a coach who has this desire to not only shape and mold excellent athletes, but also excellent people, you're a part of the home team. We're all moving in the same direction. We compete. Every single time we compete against another team, another individual, we want to win. We want to go to battle. We want to put our best foot forward. And yeah, of course, we want to, come out on top. I'll never be fake about that. We all want to win. We all want to compete. And I believe competition in the right setting, in the right environment, with the right mentality is one of the most beneficial things for our lives to push us to be better. I believe that 100%. But at the same time, when it comes to this overarching goal of making our city better and continuing to make this an incredible place where not just talent, but amazing people of character are coming from, it's going to take all of us. It's going to take every single program from the monster programs that are winning state championships to the smaller programs that barely have enough athletes to fill a team. Everybody plays a part. And that was kind of this idea that came to my head, and something I wanted to bring to this podcast just really briefly. It's not going to be a long podcast, but something that I thought about as I was scrolling through social media and I saw all these amazing people that we're connected with. When you think about the ecosystem of our sports world here in Sacramento, there are so many people that are involved. It's not just coaches and athletes. There's so many other people. You have teachers that are teaching the student athletes and helping them make sure their grades are right. You have administrators who are coordinating different things, athletic directors, trainers. You have medical staff that's there in case of emergencies. You have um, coaches, obviously assistant coaches. You have athletes who are putting the time in, and athletes who are starting, athletes who are not starting. You have people that are running snack bars. You have people that are volunteering to take tickets at the gate or put on fundraisers so teams have the funds that they need to get uniforms or equipment throughout the year. You have parents and families that are dedicating their time and effort to make sure athletes get to where they're supposed to go, and they're supporting them. You even have restaurants and businesses around the communities that maybe don't even have an athlete in that program, yet they still want to support the local program. And so you have banners and posters and flyers in their place of business because they have so much passion and love for the school and the programs and the teams that are competing in their communities. There's so many people that we don't think about that have an impact on sports, especially youth sports. And I just wanted to take a moment to thank all of you. Anybody who has their hand in this world of sports, anybody who has their hand in making the lives of student athletes better, anybody who has their hands in this world of helping coaches provide environments and platforms for their athletes to be not only great athletes, but great people. Umpires, referees, whoever you are, if you are involved in this world of sports, thank you. Thank you so much, because you are doing something amazing. And I don't think we take enough time to really think and appreciate all the people who are involved in this thing. There's so many people that do so many great things. And like I said, we typically on this podcast, we're talking to coaches and athletes, but really there's so many people that make everything that we do in sports and coaching great. I was I had a chance to go to the girls and boys state championship basketball game, the open division. I went to the open division for both the boys and the girls. And even then, you're just looking around at different members of CIF and people that are there running snack bars, and people that are there coming from out of town to watch the games, and the student support section or the student cheering sections, like everything. I mean, the band members, the people who are putting a soundtrack to the games, and the energy, bringing the energy, like just so many people. And it I don't know, it was just a cool thing. Like I know I've been in the world of sports my entire life. I've played, sat on the bench a little bit, quite a bit, especially in my later years of high school. But I just love sports. That's why I do this podcast. It's because I love sports, and I love especially like the high school level, the middle school, high school level, and what coaches and athletes are able to do at that level, and how meaningful that is to a community. Like I love it. But even as much as I love it, it just hit me the other day. Man, I don't think we take enough time to thank everybody that's involved. Like I said before, from the person who's taking tickets at the gate, to the person who is the announcer for a football game, for the person who's running the snack bar, all of these different things. The person who picks up trash after the game, like like I said, this ecosystem that within sports is so amazing. And there's so many different people that put these things on. The spouses of the coaches, the children and the families of the coaches that are missing out on some time from their mom or dad because they're dedicating all this time to their sport and the team and making better people and better athletes. Like there's so many people that are affected by sports in a positive and unfortunately sometimes a negative way, but that's not why we're here. We're here to talk about the people who are doing great things. We're here to talk about the people who are making this environment better, who are making our home team of Sacramento better. And I believe that this is an incredible place for sports and athletes and coaches because of everybody that contributes. So I just wanted to share that. I felt like that was worth sharing. I felt like that was something I wanted to express to all of you. I think, one, I'm super thankful, even though I don't have kids in sports right now and at the high school level, I'm not coaching. I don't do any of that. I just do a podcast. And I feel like this is a good opportunity, a good platform to share that with you guys. Like I'm just super thankful for everybody who's listening, who's involved in sports in some way, shape, or form. Thank you. for all that you do. Thank you for sacrificing your time, energy, your talent, everything that you put into it. I'm really grateful. And I would encourage all of you guys too, whether you're an athlete, whether you're a coach, whoever you are, whoever is listening to this, whatever role you play in this world of sports, take time. Think of 4 or 5 people. And I'm talking like 4 or 5 people that would be almost unexpectant of a thank you. Like, when's the last time that an athlete has gone up and just thanked someone at the snack bar? And I get you're on the field, they're serving food to people that are, in the crowd watching, but still, they're creating a better environment. And every little piece that makes that Friday night better makes everybody better. Like, when's the last time an athlete went up and thanked the crew that runs the snack bar? When's the last time someone gave some love, showed some love to the person who does the announcing? When's the last time someone showed some love to a referee or an umpire? We know that we get a lot of the opposite, right? We get a lot of people that are bashing and yelling at those guys and those men and women who are officiating games. But like, when's the last time that you took some time to, hey, shake a hand and say, hey, appreciate what you do? I think showing appreciation is massive for all of us, not just for us as athletes and coaches, but just as people, human beings. I think showing appreciation for the people around us is really important. And I think if you show appreciation for people, I think that encourages and inspires people. And I think it encourages them to continue to go. Because there's times where, like, no, there's times where people don't want to run the snack bar. There's times where people don't want to volunteer to take tickets at the gate or to pick up trash after the game. There's probably days where athletes don't want to show up to practice. There's days where coaches don't really want to show up to, film sessions or whatever they have to do, whatever responsibility, but they do it. And I'm sure that if even one person went out of their way to show some appreciation for what they do, I believe that would really make the world to some people. So again, I would challenge you guys. Think about 4 or 5 people that you feel maybe are underappreciated, that don't get the love and the respect that they maybe deserve on a daily basis. Maybe most people think that they don't play that big of a role in our ecosystem of sports, but think about those people. And if you would, I would challenge you, go up to them and shake their hand, give them a hug and say, hey, I appreciate what you do. I appreciate how you're contributing to our program. I appreciate how you're contributing to this athletic world here in Sacramento. Thank you so much. Like, I would just challenge you guys to do that. I think that would be a really cool thing. And I think it would really mean a lot to a lot of people. So, really quick podcast today. Nothing crazy, nothing groundbreaking, which is never groundbreaking on this podcast, but specifically today, a very practical thing, but something that I thought, and, I was just really grateful for thinking about it during this time off and kind of just scrolling. And again, thinking about all the awesome people that we're connected with and all the talented, really insightful, wise people that we have a chance to talk to on this podcast and around the area. I'm grateful for the whole thing. So I'm going to try my best to get better at doing this. We have, like I said before, we have our home team Spark, which is basically a 2 to 3 minute video that we try to post every week. It's been a while, but we post it with different trainers, coaches, athletes, motivators around the area who just share a brief thought that kind of gives us that spark to keep going, to kind of spark the motivation that we need to keep pressing on. So we've got that. Make sure you go to Instagram, YouTube, check all those out. This was, I think, episode 66. We have, 60 plus episodes. You can go back if you're new to this podcast. Make sure you go check that out. And make sure you subscribe on YouTube and on your favorite podcast platform to this podcast, Home Team Sacramento. Please leave us a 5-star rating and review if you wouldn't mind. For the episodes that we've done, and then hopefully the ones that we do will be just as great. And and obviously on social media, you can follow us at Home Team Sac on all social media: TikTok, Twitter, X, whatever they call it now, Facebook, Instagram, pretty much it. I think those are all the social medias that we have. So make sure you follow us on all of those things. And please feel free to reach out. Oh, and also on Facebook, we have a Home Team Sacramento coaches page. So please join that group, and we kind of have some conversation about, sports and life, coaching, all those different things. So please, let's get connected. Would love to hear from everybody about different topics or different people that you would love to hear on the show. So all that being said, It's good to be back. Hopefully we can keep this thing rolling, and keep an eye out for next week when we have another episode with a guest. You don't want to miss that one. It's going to be great. So all that being said, we appreciate you guys. So thankful that you're all a part of our home team here in Sacramento, and we'll see you guys next week.